Yo, it's Joan. Welcome back to my channel. 2019 is already halfway over, and that is crazy to me because time keeps moving faster and faster every year. I swear that's what they tell me every single year, but I don't believe them. Until now. As you guys will learn, I love movies. I've been watching movies since I was a kid, and it just seems to me that now more than ever, I should be watching even more. And this year is no different to the selection that's being released. It is my mission to watch more new releases this year, so I'm keeping a list for myself. My music taste is in various genres, and any movie that actually looks remotely interesting to me, I'm willing to check it out. So without further ado, here are my top 5 movies of 2019. So far, of course. Warning, mild spoilers. For my number 5 pick, I'm going with The Black Godfather, directed by Reginald Hudlin. This documentary is about Clarence Avon, the original influencer in Hollywood. This movie is currently sitting on Netflix, and it's a solid watch. This dude was everywhere. Like, he was in the background of many people's lives, like Snoop Dogg, Diddy, Lionel Richie, Quincy Jones, and Barack Obama, to name a few. This guy had a way with negotiating with people, giving advice, and just making shit happen for the people in the industry. I myself am a great, huge fan of documentaries, and this one is a standout. If you're the one to like biographical documentaries about people in the entertainment industry, then this one is definitely for you. My number 4 pick is Homecoming, directed by Queen Bee herself, Beyonce. This documentary also sits on Netflix. You know, sometimes I forget that I actually saw Beyonce live. I got tickets the day before for me and my sister, and we just went. It was at Ohio Stadium, and we were up in the nosebleeds, but overall, it wasn't a bad view. But this Coachella concert? Iconic. Beyonce came out of nowhere with this documentary and the album to go with it, and she did not disappoint. To bring another culture to Coachella is such a power move, and the fact that she used HBCU in general as the influence, as the theme, I mean, I think that's awesome. I mean, we all knew that would take work, and she worked with an E. I mean, the instrumentation of the songs, the dancers, the band, they were out of this world. Also, I don't know if anyone else feels as passionately about the transitions in the documentary as a whole. Like, the editing of the short vignettes in between the songs, but the song transitions themselves, underappreciated. This documentary is rewatchable, and one day I would love to learn all the dances. Some standouts of the documentary: Don't Hurt Yourself was the best song, in my opinion, and I love the badass vibe of it. And the short clips in between of her life and, detailing struggles that she went through her pregnancy, her marriage, and even just the overall rehearsals of the performance were awesome to watch. And the drum line was amazing because marching band is always amazing. Number 3 on my list is Us, directed by Jordan Peele. This second outing for Peele was good, I must say. This film is the definition of metaphors and symbolism. Jordan Peele is the modern Alfred Hitchcock, and I'm not backing away from that statement. This movie stars Winston Duke, Lupita Nyong'o, Shahadi Wright Joseph, and Evan Alex as the Wilsons that are being hunted and chased down by their doppelganger family led by Red. This movie deals with the theme of duality, classism, and privilege since the tethered or abandoned project by the government. They were seeking revenge. I will admit, the setups had great payoffs, like Jason keeping Pluto in the closet and Red's final showdown with Adelaide, but the movie overall, in my opinion, was a little bit predictable. However, I think that the horror elements of the film threw off a lot of viewers, predominantly black people, because the theater I was in had predominantly black people, and they were scared at every single jump scare, just the tension. They were like, oh, and me and my best friend were literally calling everything out because we knew the structure. and, as film auteurs, we just knew. But it didn't really deter me from my movie viewing experience. This movie was a solid sophomore film from Jordan Peele, and I'm excited to see what comes next for him. Standout moments of the movie: Kitty and her whole family getting killed. I honestly didn't see that coming. Also, how they tied in with their Alexa knockoff playing Fuck the Police when they try to call the police. I thought that was amazing. And just the constant imagery and symbolism throughout the film. Like, when Adelaide was getting her face smashed in the table by Red, you could just see the two of them, just the two of them. And just that imagery was just really cool to witness, especially with the screen, with the mirror cracking, because it sees that, their worlds are crashing into each other. And their fight at the end, and how it coincides with their current fight, and then their past dance when they were little. I thought that was really awesome too. My number 2 pick is the biggest superhero movie of 2019. Come on, say it with me. Avengers Endgame, which was directed by the Russo brothers. At this point, I don't know what else there could be said about Endgame. For a movie at this magnitude to work sounded impossible, like literally 5 years ago, but it turned out to be fucking awesome. The Russos' work on Civil War and Winter Soldier echoed on this movie, and it helped add layers to the performances of Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans, Chris Hemsworth, Scarlett Johansson, Mark Ruffalo, and Jeremy Renner. Karen Gillan and Bradley Cooper also did give great scene-stealing performances as well. I saw this movie twice in theaters, and I can't wait for it to come out to Netflix so I can watch it every single day. The big arcs of Steve, Tony, and Thor were completed in such a fashion that I thought was just right for their characters. The time heist led by Scott Lang was a fun time, and sequences like that make me so happy to watch, and I wish I was in on the fun. Some standout moments of the film: Steve's Hail Hydra, that was funny. Tony's angry rant to Steve in the beginning, like in the first 20 minutes before they killed Thanos and he went off on him. I honestly thought that was probably one of the most underrated scenes in the movie, because I think for the first time in the MCU, in my opinion, you could really see like the stakes and how, they're supposed to be there for each other and they weren't, and how it really affected Tony. And for the first time, it just felt like what he needed to say needed to happen. Like, it's like he needed to confront Tony. Everyone had to be there to watch, because, it just made sense. And it really did, like, hurt my heart. And that shit, it hit hard. Another moment, when Professor Hulk gave his taco to Scott. That was a cute one. I think Clint's overall presence in the film was probably one of the best performances in the movie. I thought Jeremy Renner did a great job with his character. And every single scene with him, I thought he stole it. I thought it was great. He is the most underrated character in my opinion. The following characters coming in the end, mixed with Steve's Avenger Assemble yell, and the ending battle was just overall bad ass. And I get chills every single time I've seen that clip. It's amazing. This movie will definitely go down as one of the biggest movies of the 2010s, and I'm glad to be a part of that theater experience. Now, my number 1 movie from the first half of 2019 goes to Booksmart, directed by Olivia Wilde. Now, one of my guilty pleasures when it comes to film or TV is teen fiction. I am a sucker for coming-of-age movies. I think it has to do with me being only 21, and to see these characters being portrayed by people my age, of the age that I was not only 3 years ago, just rings true to me. Some of my favorite coming-of-age films are Edge of 17, Heathers, Mean Girls, and Lady Bird. But this movie takes the cake in teen comedy. This movie is about 2 girls that go to a high school party the day before they graduate because they were stuck in the books and didn't grasp the concept of having a social life and studying. This movie was funny as hell. Like, I laughed the entire time. These teenagers were just so stupid and witty, and it reminded me of my friends so much. Like, if I were to write a movie about my high school years, which will happen one day, it would be close to that. The lead characters Amy and Molly are played by Caitlin Dever and Beanie Feldstein, were phenomenal. Their chemistry on screen mirrors my BFF and I to a T. My best friend and I literally don't do shit, and we have the greatest time. I can just tell when they were filming, they all must have had a great time. Olivia Wilde did a great job with her directorial debut, and I couldn't be happier. This is the type of movie that I instantly relate to and treasure because I was these girls 3 years ago. Kids these days act somewhat similarly in the film in real life. They say stupid shit, they try hard to fit in, they have witty comebacks for everything, they cuss every 5 words, and they want to be friends with their teachers. This movie is amazing, and I need more movies like this. Standout moments. Amy and Molly's cute adoration of each other. The porn scene with their Uber driver and principal. Gigi as a whole character. I love her. She stole every single scene. I loved it. And one moment that I actually really did like was Amy and Molly's fight at the party. The way that was shot, it was isolating them, and the camera was constantly moving around them, and they were fighting, and they were almost fighting as if no one was there. But the thing is, they were at the biggest party. So soon they were talking, and they kept getting louder and louder and louder, and people around them just started noticing, taking videos. No one stepped in, of course, and they just kind of let it happen. But it was just chilling because you can just see that everything of their relationship, even though they had a really good relationship, they had flaws that they didn't confront. So it was just coming out in front of people, and it was really chilling to watch. Like, I got chills watching that, and I thought that was amazing as well. And there's my list. Movies have always been in my life, and these movies have impacted me and helped improve my film viewing experience. I am a film studies student, so to me, watching new movies allow me to learn how filmmaking goes and how to apply analysis and critique to new movies that come out this year and new movies that I watch for the first time as well. Here are some movies that I'm interested in seeing that are coming out later this year. Spider-Man: Far From Home, Midsommar, Hobbs and Shaw, The Kitchen, Good Boys, It Chapter 2, Hustlers, Harriet, Midway, Charlie's Angels, Knives Out, Queen and Slim, and The King's Men. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.